whispers in the morning.
15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and that's 20. So that means for this month, if I do not want to get pregnant, I should avoid having sex on these days. That's from the 11th, that's from on this calendar now, from the 11th of April to the 20th of April, I should not have sex. The shortest cycle you minus 19 days, while the longest cycle you minus 11 days from the cycle, and then you calculate what day. Now, knowing when you are fertile or not has to do with the period you are ovulating. What is ovulation? It is the release of egg from the ovary of a woman. So that is what is called ovulation.
Thank you so much. I'm saturated. Maybe I take a glass of water to dilute this particular information.
Go ahead. Water is good for your body.
Oh, thank you, Doc. So, now I want you, Dr. Norma, to also explain to us how one can use this menstrual cycle to know the fertile period. How can it help a woman to know when she's fertile?
Okay. Now, knowing when you are fertile or not has to do with the period you are ovulating. What is ovulation? It is the release of egg from the ovary of a woman. So that is what is called ovulation. Now, because for fertility to occur, there has to be the meeting of a sperm and an egg. So there is always sperm, let's assume. So your fertile period has to do with when you have the egg ready and the period around that. Okay, so we have to first of all know how to calculate the ovulation period. And that's what we are going to do now. Okay, thank you. So usually, like, a menstrual cycle is divided into two periods. We have what we call the follicular phase, follicles, and then we have what we call the luteal phase. Now this is so much grammar, but I'm going to break it down for you. Now, follicle and then luteal. What this means is, in the follicular phase, what happens is that your ovary is growing those small eggs. They're all growing up together, and then at the end of towards the end of that period, one is selected to be the main egg that is going to be ovulated out, while the others, they just die off. Then luteal phase happens after the follicle has been released, the egg has been released outside. So the changes that occur in the ovary after the egg has left is what is called the luteal phase. Now the luteal phase is constant, it's always 14 days, while the follicular phase can change. Okay, so if your cycle is 28 days, you know that luteal phase is always 14, and then follicular phase is 14 days. If your cycle is 30 days, you know that follicular phase is 16. You know that luteal phase is still 14 days constant, while follicular phase is 16 days. If your cycle is 32 days, you know that your luteal phase is still 14, always constant, while your follicular phase is 18 days. So in between the follicular phase and the luteal phase is when you have the ovulation in between. So let's calculate the ovulation period for someone whose cycle is 30 days. So if this is this month, this is my month of March, I have seen my period on the 3rd of March, and I want to know when exactly am I going to ovulate this month. So I count 30 days. So let's count together: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, and that's 30 there. So because the luteal phase, which is the last part of it, is 14 days, if I want to know the day I'm going to ovulate, I'm going to count back from these 30 days. I'm going to count back 14 days. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So this is the day I'm going to ovulate. So unlike what most people tell you, ovulation is always on day 14. Ovulation is on day 14 if you have a regular 28-day cycle. So if your cycle is longer than 28 days, what you're going to do is you're going to remove 14 from the back. You're going to subtract 14 from it, and what is left that day is going to be when your ovulation will be. It might be day 17, it might be day 18, depending on the length of your cycle. So now that we've gotten the day of our ovulation, another thing that's very important for us to know is how long does a sperm last? How long does the egg last? Usually, on an average, a sperm lasts 5 days, while on the average, the egg just lasts 1 day. Does not have power, it just dies off. So now the sperm also, there are two types. There are the eggs containing sperm with the tail and the Y containing sperm with the tail. The Y containing sperm is what determines the male children. Is what, when you fertilize the egg, you have a male, while the eggs containing sperm form the female children. Now these two sperms, they are the same as sperms though, but in their capacity they are different. Now the eggs containing sperm, I don't know if you can see this. The eggs containing sperm is very fast. Okay, the Y containing sperm, yeah, that's the male sperm. They are fast. Imana, like men, they have this gra. They are very, very fast. They used to do this activity,
Vibrant, energetic.
vibrant. So
It's in our gene.
they go very fast, but then they are fast, but then within a short time, they just die off. Unlike the eggs containing sperm, which form the female children, they are not as fast as the Y containing sperms, but they last longer than the Y containing sperm. So they have a longer life than the Y containing sperm. Now this will take us to the um principle of sex selection based on the timing of sex. So if I know my ovulation is around here, normally the egg won't last long anyway. So it's just one day. We just have this 19th to do all we can with that egg. And within this period, you have sex. I said I know, not me. So because I know that if I want a male child, because I know the male sperm, the Y containing sperm is faster and it will die quickly. So I want to have sex as close as possible to the ovulation day, so that the sperm is going to reach faster than the eggs containing sperm, and then it will not die before it reaches the egg. So to have male children, you should have sex as close as possible to the day you have your ovulation. So, and then if on the other hand, if you want female children, you should have sex much more days before the ovulation period, so that all the Y containing sperms will just do their do their whole, and then die off immediately, while the eggs containing sperm, which are longer lasting, will remain and then fertilize the egg as soon as it comes out. So that is it on sex selection based on knowledge of the menstrual cycle. You see how this menstrual cycle has helped us to even know how to select the sex of our babies, and that helps a lot for people who need a particular sex of a child. Then other things you can do with this menstrual cycle is knowing your safe period and knowing when you should not. If you don't want to have a baby, you should know when you should not have sex. So knowledge of this menstrual cycle would help you in this. Now, to calculate your safe period, now what happens is, when we talked about the menstrual cycle, I said something like looking at all your cycles for a period of like 3 months, 4 months at least, before you calculate your menstrual cycle length. So in this period, when you are calculating your cycle length, like here we got 29, here we got 30, maybe the other month we got 32, another month we got 28. So all this period now, what we are going to do, calculate your safe period. You're going to get the shortest cycle length you've ever recorded. Maybe the shortest you've recorded was 27 days. You're going to get, or maybe 29 days. Here, the shortest we have is 29 days. So we are going to use 29 days. Now we're going to subtract 19 days from the shortest cycle length. And then we are going to subtract 11 days from the longest cycle length you've ever gotten. Maybe when you were tracking your menstrual cycle, you got one day that was 38 days or 35 days. That's the longest you've ever recorded. So we're going to subtract 11 from the longest and 19 from the shortest. Just remember 19, 11. So you're subtracting 19 from the shortest and 11 from the longest. So in our chart here, our longest cycle was 30 days. So we are subtracting 11 from the longest cycle, which is 30 minus 11, that's 19. And then shortest cycle was 29, and we are subtracting 19 from it. That's 29 minus 19, and that gave us 10. So that means on a particular month like April, let's use April now, we want to know what period am I not going to have sex in the month of April if I don't want to have a baby. So that means, now this 10 does not mean number 10 on this calendar. It means the 10 of your menstrual cycle, not 10 on the calendar. So that means I'm going to count the day 10 on this calendar of my menstrual cycle. So let's assume that day, let's use 2 instead. Let's assume on the month of April, I saw my period on the 2nd of the month. So I want to calculate day 10. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is my day 10. So just use this to make you understand that this 10 does not mean the 10th day on that calendar, but the 10th day of your own cycle. And then the day 19 is going to be, this is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and that's 20. So that means for this month, if I do not want to get pregnant, I should avoid having sex on these days. That's from the 11th, that's from on this calendar now, from the 11th of April to the 20th of April, I should not have sex. Because if you check it, by the time you calculate the ovulation period in this month will fall very close, will fall in between this period. And I told you something about how long a sperm lasts. So you don't want to take chances, because this period you are most likely to ovulate. The ovulation might come either on that day you calculated it to be, or 2 days later, or 2 days before. So you're not exactly sure the particular day it's going to happen. Like I said, for your body is not like a machine clock that just click and is very accurate in what it does. So this is calculating the safe period. So that means for the month of April, you can have sex on any day of the month apart from the 11th to the 20th of this month. And we understood how we calculated this safe period. You minus the shortest cycle you've ever gotten minus 11, and you subtract the shortest cycle you've ever gotten, you subtract 19 from it, and then the longest cycle you've ever gotten, you subtract 11 from it. And then the day you get, that's the day of your cycle, not the day of the calendar. Okay, the shortest cycle you minus 19 days, while the longest cycle you minus 11 days from the cycle. And then you calculate what day falls on the calendar using your cycle for that month.
Hi, my name is Cheryl.
And I'm Jennifer.
Guess what? There's a channel called Some Majesty Easy World Science.
And do you know the best part?
Mm-hmm.
It makes science so easy. Wow.
It makes science easy, simplified, and very, very fun.
Guess what? Rocket science ain't rocket science anymore.
It's now ABC.
Like if you did science your entire life.
Another thing about Some Majesty Easy World Science channel is that he makes available laboratory equipment and reagents.
Guess the best part? If chemistry has been hard for you, he does tutorials.
And another thing is, when you order for these things, they are high quality and they are also cheap and affordable for anybody.
If you want to order, just look at the number below the screen.
And don't forget to subscribe and hit the little notification button down below.
Don't forget to share, of course, obviously there's love in sharing.
Thank you. See you there.
Dr. Norma, thank you so much. I'm saturated. Maybe I take a glass of water to dilute this particular information.
Go ahead. Water is good for your body.
Oh, thank you, Doc. So, from what she said, she has told us that the ovulation, the menstrual cycle is divided into two: the follicular and the luteal stage, which means the midpoint of these two stages is the ovulation, right?
Yeah.
A kind of, some may call it pre-ovulatory stage, ovulation, and post-ovulation stage.
Yes.
And she also made us know that there is one stage that is variable in terms of number. There is one stage that is constant. I hope I'm right.
Yes.
The luteal stage is constant, and she said it's 14 days constant.
Yes.
So it's the follicular stage that varies. That's when the Graafian follicles start maturing. But after maturation, when the egg is released, it leaves behind what we call the corpus luteum. I guess I'm right.
Yes, you're correct.
And because of that, they now call it the luteal stage. Yeah. So from that, she now be able to tell you where you can trace your ovulation period on the dot. This one is fixed. Don't count from your day one towards, rather you count from the last day. That is, if it started, I hope I'm right, doctor.
Yes, you count.
Don't mind me. Backwards. That's when when you see, maybe how do I put it? If you start today, and then the next day you start new cycle. You start from that place you stopped a cycle and count 14 behind. I guess I'm right.
Yes.
Because of the luteal stage is constant. If you have a regular, you have checked your cycle. You have taught us that, of course.
Yes,
this is for your own cycle. So someone having 30 days should count 14 behind.
Yes.
14 behind is not 14 from the calendar, but from your own calendar. So if you count that 14 behind, the 15th day behind, is it the ovulation or the 14th day?
It is the 15th day.
Okay.
After you count 14, the last one at the end of the follicular is the ovulation.
Is this precise enough that it shouldn't vary with more than 2 days?
Yes, the luteal phase is the most precise of all of them. Yes.
Okay. So thanks a lot. Thanks for watching, and it's very nice having a wonderful doctor in our midst today. She visited, and I'm telling you what, she has enriched us. Me, I'm enriched already. I'm happy having someone like that. I bet you that if she has taught me during my school days, I will be a doctor without even going to school. You know what that means? So you are miraculous, and you're actually majestic.
Thank you.
I'm exaggerating actually, but I'm saying that your teachings are very rich.
Thank you.
So remember to watch back if you are confused at any point and ask your questions there in the comment box.
Yeah,
please don't forget to
section.
Okay, don't forget to subscribe and share. So this your visit for the first time. So what can you say to the easy world of science?
I think it's very awesome that people now have their health in their own hands, having information to be able to control their health, and not having to, having to be able to organize themselves with information from this channel. It's really, really priceless. Very priceless. And all you can just use to subscribe, like and subscribe. Thank you.
God bless you. So bye for now. Stay on for more with Dr. Norma.
Bye.
Bye.
I love you. Thank you for watching.
And